Just kind of want to ask in your overall impression of that game over Southwest Minnesota State. Obviously, the headlines were about Alt and kind of that the record he broke, then the 6 passing touchdowns he had. But kind of, how did you feel about your team last Saturday?
We talked about starting faster, especially on offense. I mean, they've been scoring a bunch of points, but we haven't maybe executed in the first half, or first quarter in particular, probably as well as we wanted to. So for those guys, it was pretty windy to go down and execute into the wind. I think they scored on their first 4 possessions, so they went out and answered the bell there. And then defensively, we played pretty well. We gave up a couple plays here and there, but overall pretty happy. And Brandon, you're happy for the kid. He tied his own record and broke the all-time passing, I think, touchdown record against, and God, I think it was Jordan Hines' record on top of it. So it was fun to have those guys both on the sideline, but couldn't be more happy for that guy. He's gone through a lot, and so now we're just focusing our attention on Northern.
Yeah, Northern, they're on a bit of win streak as well themselves, 7-2 overall in the NSIC. I was kind of poking around some stats and stuff. They like to chuck the ball, and they got 2 receivers also, just like we do, in the top 10, or you guys do, not me. I'm not part of the team. But kind of talk about Northern State, kind of the passing attack they have in their team overall.
I think it goes through their quarterback. They kind of have a similar story. Hunter Troutman, he's a Minnesota kid that ended up going down to Northern with the previous staff, and he just has really excelled this last year within what they've changed on offense, and he's kind of the heartbeat. Yes, they have tremendous receivers too, and they've been running the ball more effectively the last handful of weeks too, so they're really good. Similar to us, I'd say, throw it around and get it out to the receivers in space. So hopefully one of the defenses shows up and is able to slow somebody down. But I think that's going to be the challenge. I think whoever can play better on the defensive side of the ball and limit some things will have the opportunity to win the game. And they're also really good. I think they're first in the country in turnover margin. So obviously they take care of it and don't turn it over. So that all usually breeds bound to a team having success.
Yeah. Last thing, Brent, I guess, we talk about each week, every Thursday. The guys have said it and you've said it a lot, 1-0 each week, but, this is, social media, and you can kind of see, obviously, how teams do, of course. They're 7-2. They're fighting for the NSIC North Championship as well as NCAA tournament berth. So you talk about 1-0 each week, and you always want to, don't get too built up for one game. But on the flip side of it, can you kind of treat it as like, hey, this will really fire us up, because if you're a competitor, you live for games like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they look at it a little bit differently than I do, but it is the byproduct of what you do during the week. You got to be 1-0 each day and 1-0 each rep. So I think our guys have bought into that mentality, because to be in the conversation week 11, you got to win week 10 and the previous weeks. And we kind of had to do that all the way since week 4, when we kind of came off a 2-game losing streak. The kids responded well. So, yeah, it's a big game. Don't fool yourself. So is Southwest, so is Duluth, so we're all of them leading up to this point. So we play our best when we just go out and have fun. So don't emphasize what's going on. Yeah, I think pressure is a privilege when you get to this point in life and in terms of football. Yeah, the more that you win, the more pressure you're going to have. But you got to have fun with it. Otherwise, you're worried about the wrong thing. So I think these kids are locked in and just going to go have fun with the game.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of media this week, obviously, with the game you had and the record you broke, single-season passing touchdowns record. Kind of that game, you threw 6 touchdown passes. What's it like as a quarterback when you're just in rhythm and everything's just going smooth sailing like that?
Yeah, feels good. As you noticed right away, we were able to drive down the field and put 7 up, and that's something we haven't been able to done as an offense all year, and I think that was the key to our success last weekend. Really from the start to the end, just rolling and keeping up the tempo and just keep doing what we were doing and scoring touchdowns. So just having fun.
Yeah, for sure. You guys had those 2 losses earlier in the year. Could have kind of taken a back seat or whatever you want to call it, but it's been 5, 6 in a row or something?
Yeah.
5 in a row now. Why this team? Why you guys have so much resiliency and poise, and you guys position yourself to possibly make it the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I'd say it was after the Minot game. We all sat each other down and we just really focused on. We talked about what is going to be done to make that change, to flip the script and to go on the uphill rise. And it was coming out each day and doing the littlest thing you could think of. And it was just being here on time and everything. But we sat each other down and we kind of saw week after week, we kind of started putting things together, and it was exciting. Each week coming out and practicing, and you could see it. So
Yeah, and like a meeting like that, sometimes teams have the meeting and they say it's like all that, but just all kind of false bravado. You guys think that was genuine at that moment, and that kind of, like you said, flipped the script then?
Yeah. And I mean, like we said, like there's a lot of what are we going to do, but it was the actions that was going to have to take place, and that's exactly what we did. The following week, we put in those actions, and you could see it at practice throughout the week. Guys were just very disciplined, on time, and we just kept going.
Yeah. Bolte said a lot, 1-0 each week. Guys that have come out here and done this every Thursday, 1-0 each week, which, it's good. It's the right thing to say.
Right.
This game too, you obviously know it. Northern State, they're 7-2 as well. They want to make an NCAA tournament. They want to win the NSIC North. There's a lot at stake, right? But, and you want to say 1-0 each week. But as competitors, you can flip it the other way and be like, hey, this is what you live for, right? Maybe that can help you out and edge you out a little bit, where it's like, hey, the lights are on, stakes are high. Does that kind of like, want you guys to, win even more,
Yeah, I mean, it fires us up. I mean, it gets us going. We knew, going into Duluth, it was a game just like that. It was a big game. Never beaten Duluth in a long time. So we really just said, why not us? Why can't we just put things together and go put out a good ball game? So it's kind of the same mindset. And like we know it's a big game, but we know that each rep is going to count. 1 out of 11, guys got to do their job. So we just go out there and do what we got to do.
Last thing for me, Brandon, I kind of was just poking around at stats and stuff with Northern State. I know they like to toss the ball on the opposite side of the ball, their offense. Have you checked out film? You know anything about them defensively, what to expect from them?
Yeah, they're an aggressive team. They're almost similar to Duluth. They play hard. They're very aggressive. They fly around. But, nothing too much, but just got to do what we got to do. That's the main thing. Just focus on each rep and go to it.